Welcome to the Leverton on Everything podcast. I'm Leverton, and this is Everything, a daily podcast where I review literally everything in under 10 minutes. Let's go. Okay, today I'm talking about Bob's Burgers. 9 out of 10. I don't know if I need to introduce it, but it's an animated series. My title, yeah, I gave it 9 out of 10 stars. Yeah, no spoilers for that. Great voice acting and strong characters. The best way to describe Bob's Burgers is to say that the characters are characters first and then cartoon characters second. Bob is a socially anxious balding man who runs a business with his family and, despite being great at his job, is not successful. His wife Linda is very supportive but will abandon the business the moment she needs to do something for her children. Tina, the oldest child, is a good description of a teenage girl who is very creative but not actually that smart. She's not dumb, but the writers don't fall into the trap of portraying her as either very intelligent or very stupid. She has a wild fantasy life, but seems to have inherited her social awkwardness from her father. In her case, it's a little bit more extreme because when she's stressed, she makes a repetitive huh, huh, huh sound. Gene, the middle child, is the one who I think is honestly portrayed a little unrealistically. He says most of the one liners in the show. There are storylines that treat him like a real boy, um, and he's a person who really believes he's talented but doesn't have the ambition or discipline to stick with anything. And he's also very attached to his mom. And there's a great episode about how oblivious he is to the amount of attention he requires from her. Then there's Louise, who also people have criticized for being very cartoonish, but I think it's a realistic portrayal of a girl who is very self determined and does not yet have the imagination to think about the consequences of her actions. Of course, the whole show has a lot of cartoonish elements and some things that are very funny, but what I like about it is at the heart of it is about people, or maybe not real people, but believable people. I think it's great that H. John Benjamin's two major roles are so different and yet so connected. Sterling Archer is this immensely competent secret agent, but who has self destructive habits and rarely tries to genuinely love anyone. Bob Belcher, on the other hand, is only really competent in one area of his life, but he does genuinely love the members of his family. I think the interesting part about that juxtaposition is that if the characters of Sterling Archer and Bob Belcher were real, they would probably fantasize about being someone like the other. So it's such a well written show and really, really funny. And I think it you can criticize a lot about it, like the animation looks a bit ugly, the character design looks a little bit ugly. Um, I think I will review the movie later, but you can really tell, like, so there was a movie that was a bit of a flop. I don't even know why they made a movie out of this, to be honest, because it's a super successful animated series, but just be, I, I think the only franchise that ever did that successfully, or maybe two, would be South Park and The Simpsons. And I'm not even sure the Simpsons movie actually made that much money because they didn't do it again. So yeah, I got distracted. But anyway, the animation in the movie, the backgrounds is like really really amazing and beautiful, and then you have the ugly characters. So yeah, you could criticize that, but I think it's really really well written. And also, this is a little small thing, but on my podcast with my son, the Everything and More Etc. podcast, we reviewed Gravity Falls, and the actress, oh, I forgot what her name is, but the actress who plays Louise in this, she also plays the sister in Gravity Falls. And they are not the same character, clearly. They're very different, but in my head canon, it was like that Louise, she went to summer camp and she has like a brother that's never talked about in the show who is Dipper from Gravity Falls. And in my head canon, that works. So also then, so Gravity Falls Gravity Falls and Bob's Burgers are connected. So therefore, so also that means Gravity Falls is connected to the Owl House, and the Owl House is connected to Bob's Burgers. But also, um, all of them exist in the world of Archer because it's canon that Archer goes into the world of Bob's Burgers. So it's the same. It's craziness. Oh, but it's so enjoyable, those kind of connections. Yeah, so I already plugged the podcast that I have with my son. I can plug another one. I have a podcast called the Death by Disney podcast. Please check it out. I think you might like it. I review Disney movies in a chronological order.